Hello again, this is Monkeypuzzle, and welcome to episode 33 this time, playing the Direwolf20 pack for Minecraft 1.7.10 here on the Primus Server, and I'm sitting out in my hot tub in a lovely clear evening, watching the little bubbles float up, and ready to do another episode with you guys. You ready? I'm ready. I won't have warp for another 14 minutes, so we can save a little dun 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 dun. Just a little. But okay, well, let me get into a mode where I can do things and show you first. I've got a little sugarcane farm now with my little golems because I needed some sugar for the Binnie Genetics that I started working on last episode, and I want to work on it some more this episode. First, I wanted to show you this. I just got a little harvest golem who knocks the sugarcane off, gives it a nice crew cut whenever it gets more than one high. A little gather golem who puts it in his chest that ties into my whole little item duct network that's down here and sends it on down to the ME. And let's expand this a little bit before I get going. This is as far as this poor guy can see. But we can change that a little bit. Let's make him a little bit more perceptive. And I need to get perceptive and go the right direction. So over here in this one, I've got the golem upgrade of water that improves senses and range. And in this one, I've got some glasses for him. So let's give him both of those things. Bye, cat dog. And right up here. So let me see. Let me get those new little goodies for the golem. And so let me see. First, how about a new belly button? It goes down there. So now he can see a little farther. And these will help you look better too. I know I'm in your space. There you go. I know you were a little nearsighted, but now it's all better. Now you notice I'm growing this on long grass. And if I can get my... Oh, I have it already. My wand. Ooh, taking its own time there. There we go. We can get the focus of equal trade. This long grass comes from that biome. Do I have it there? Oh, there we go. It comes from that biome. I think it's called a garden biome. The one with the giant flowers and the roasters. They're kind of like chickens, but they're red. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And as you can see, sugarcane will grow on it without water. So it just makes it a lot easier to grow sugarcane and not have to spend half of the space, or a good amount of the space anyway, with water. So yeah, I'm just going to expand this whole thing. Things are being a little reluctant for me today, but we'll get it done. We'll crowd the hot tub here. Just get it a little closer. Yeah, so we'll just a bit more. Just go around a bit more, and I wonder if this is one of my... Yeah, it's funny I can't replace that, but that's just painted glowstone. Anyway, this is taking too long, but let me just finish it up. I'm gonna just go around it one more time. I'm curious how far the golem can go. And I want to keep a kind of nice shape for it too. I don't want it to be too blocky. Even though we're playing Minecraft, which is all about blocky. Alright, I think... Yeah, we'll put one more right there. That should finish it up for now. Just increase the production a bit. Oops. And just fill it up full of sugarcane. Let me go all the way around. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, there it is. A bigger sugarcane field. And it takes him a little bit to notice when things have grown. But hopefully he'll be able to keep that whole thing nice and mown. And yeah, so now I have automatic sugarcane. So that's cool. Let me throw this stuff away in my little networked redwood tree over here. And I'll just place these flowers around, and I'll meet you guys for the next thing. Okay, so let's head on over to the Highlands base and see if we can finish with Binnie Genetics today. Or not finish with it, but at least get to the point where I can actually use it. And As you guys saw last time, I always rubber band from this space, so I'm just going to stand here for a minute. Oh, and there's a butterfly. But as you guys saw last time, Binnie's mods pretty complicated, the genetics, and I'll probably have to skip some stuff to actually get it done this time and not go into a third episode. And by the way, I figured out where all my butterflies are going is they're flying downhill and getting stuck down below in the forest here. So that's cool. There's butterflies all over the place around here, and they're pretty. Look at them. Butterflies everywhere. I hope I'm not creating too many entities. At some point, if they don't despawn, I might have to go into Opus and kill all the butterflies, because there's quite a few. And I found if I go just out of render distance, look at all those butterflies. There's even more that they fly right out of render distance and then get stuck. But anyway, yeah, they go downhill, and I guess they just don't quite make it back uphill. But yeah, there's butterflies all over the place. Very nice. Look at that. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, a little excessive, but beautiful nonetheless. Anyway, let's go back up the hill here and move on. I've got some new trees to show you real quick before we get into the genetics. Right here, this is a sweet chestnut, best source of seed oil in the game. These are sweet crab apples. They still have the apple wood bark, so that hasn't changed. And then let me see, these over here are plums. So these give me plums if I broke the leaves, and it has this nice plum wood, which I really like. And this is the chestnut wood. And then let me see, what else new did I get? This here is a key lime, and this is a pomelo. Both of them just have the citrus wood, that green citrus wood. And then, oh, this one's pretty. This one is a sugar maple. It's very cool. And this is new. This is, oh wait, no, this is a red maple, excuse me. It came from the sugar maple. This is a sweet gum. This is a loblolly pine. And this is a Lawson cypress. So all new trees. And then I got some new breeding going on. I've got different crosses hooked up here. This one here is to get me an alder. This is a silver birch and a beech. And those two are going to give me an alder. And then several more crosses along the way, and I will have gotten to a Monkeypuzzle tree, which will make me super excited. And I've got some new trees too that I can't grow yet because I don't have enough. There's the coast sequoia, which needs a 3x3, so I need 3 more of those. A butternut needs a 2x2, and an acorn oak needs a 2x2. So I have all those crosses set up here too to give me some more of them. And overall, you can see I've got 27 new trees. These are just the vanilla trees that have been treealized, so they have their new names. But yeah, all these new trees, which to me is super exciting. So let's go ahead on down. I will spare you talking about the bees today, and let's finish this. So just to catch you up, last time we or remind you, we got some ethanol production being made. Right now, I'm using the saplings. Did I get all these done? Oh, cool. I'm using all the saplings that I get from the breeding, because besides the new trees, I just get tons of these. They're just crosses between the two different trees, just kind of randomly, that aren't any good for me. So I've just been throwing them on top of this hopper and turning all those into ethanol as well, just so I can get rid of that. Oh, and look over here. I've started a little display of all the different woods and planks that I've been getting from the new trees. So just so I can see all the new textures that I'm getting for that. And they're very pretty. So you can pick your favorite. Applewood, I like a lot. I like the plum, and I like the walnut a lot too. I think those are all very cool. And I know it's just a recoloring of the birch, but I like the cherry a lot. I don't know what it is about that. So, and over here, the ethanol we're going to use in a bit, I've got a setup with incubators to make all the different growth mediums and bacterias we're going to need for our different genetic recombination here. So in this cyclic, what do you call it? Cyclic assembler, pumping in sugar and bone meal. And the sugar, of course, is why we needed to do that sugarcane. It's making the growth medium, which in here gets turned into liquid growth medium. You don't see any here because it gets sucked up as soon as it's ready. And then some of it gets sent into this incubator, the liquid growth medium, or all of it actually. And over here, it gets turned into bacteria, which you don't see because it's being sent over here. Here we got bacteria being turned into enzyme, which I think we're going to need some of. So let's grab. Here we have bacteria being turned into polymerizing bacteria. And for some reason, this doesn't seem to get any more than 25% full. So I might be wasting my bacteria at this point. Same here. This one makes bacteria vector with blaze powder, and it doesn't seem to be able to get more than 24% full either. So not sure what's up with that. See, this went up to 25 and back down to 24 with no new product because there's nowhere for it to go. But let's give it somewhere to go now. We need to make the rest of these machines for this. So let's go ahead and get those made, and then I'll get them placed and try to use them. So there's several things I'm going to need. Well, more than several, because several is only 3, and there's more than 3. So first thing we're going to need to make is the gene pool. And all these, we have 3 options of MJ, RF, or EU. And of course, RF is what I'm going to use. So hopefully have everything we need for this one, for the gene pool. I was missing something up there. I need a bronze gear. That's no biggie. Let's make a ton. Throw them in there for next time. And there we go. And I made all these reinforced casings the last time, so we don't have to bother with that. And then next, let's make the isolator. And this is the first one that actually starts the work of basically pinpointing some of the genes. And to make these, I'm going to need to make a new thing with integrated circuit boards. And down here's that enzyme I grabbed that we were making before. So I already made plenty of these in the Carpenter last time. We just need to put some glowstone dust and some lapis lazuli around them. And we'll get 12, which probably is going to be more than enough to get us where we're going. So let's go ahead and make the isolator. Put the enzyme in there. I'll throw the rest in there. And so now we have that. And then there's some more machines. After the isolator, it's going to come the analyzer. And this one has an S. There's also an analyzer with a Z. Don't confuse them. So there's my RF version. Hopefully I still have some DNA dye in here. I do. And now I'm missing, I have to make a new B-alyzer for it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, there it is. We got our B-alyzer. Let's go back downstairs and finish what I was doing. So that needs to go there. We've got our analyzer. So let me see, isolator, gene pool, isolator, analyzer, incubator. That's another one of those we made last time. I'm going to need that as the very last step. I've got my notes here I keep looking at because there's a lot of this stuff to remember. Sequencer. And some of these things are going to be mighty slow. I'm going to go ahead and make more of them later on. And I think this is one of them I'm going to need more of because it takes a long time. I don't think we have any fluorescent dye. So let's go ahead and make that. That's orange and yellow dye plus glowstone dust. Let me make a dozen of these so far. We'll need a lot more. Let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, that's the best we can do with that for now. So let's make our sequencer. And I'm going to make about 3 of these for now. Some of these other ones I want to make more of too. One of the ways that this mod tries to balance is by making things happen slowly. And we don't have time for that, so we'll just make more of them. So that was the sequencer. Next is the polymerizer. And again, the RF version. And let's see how we do with that. Good. We can just go ahead and do that. And then the last of these kind of devices, I think, if I remember them all, is the inoculator. So let's make that. And we should be good to go with that one as well. Okay, so now I need to get these things all in place with these various fluids pumping into them. Like for instance, the which one? The isolator is going to need enzyme and ethanol, and the gene pool I think may need them both as well. I think it needs the, let me see, the gene pool needs, yeah, ethanol, enzyme, and the bees. So I'm going to have to cleverly pump all this stuff over to save time, and rather than make you guys watch me do a bunch of conduiting, I'm just going to go ahead and try to put all these new machines in order in this wall in a way that makes sense, where they get what they need and send their products on to the next thing. And rather than just doing that and spending the rest of the episode and not finishing, I'm just going to do that, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I put some of them in place, and I thought I would show you before I did the rest, just so you can kind of see how it goes together. So this first one is the gene pool, and this is going to get us bDNA, or as I often call it, BNA. And that's going to go in here. It's got power and ethanol and enzyme going to it. The enzyme's coming automatically from this incubator right here that's making the enzyme. And then the ender chest I put up here is going to be for the bees it needs to make the BNA. And then the ethanol is coming from here, which is being shared with both of these devices. The isolator is getting the ethanol as well as the enzyme and this. So the isolator is going to need serum vials. This is going to need bees. Let's do the bees first and see how that works. So I've made the paired ender chest right here, and this is going to be for all the bees that we don't need, which we get many of. The drones just keep reproducing and reproducing and reproducing, so we can throw a bunch of these into here, and then those should go downstairs. Let's see what happens. So, yep, the bees are in there. They're going into the gene pool. The gene pool is going to use the enzyme and the ethanol and the power to give us BNA. And I've put the tanks for it here because I think that it's just really neat looking stuff. Yeah, see what I mean? So it can kind of help decorate this whole assembly right here rather than just being shoved away somewhere. So we're getting the BNA. This over here, by the way, is just a liquid conduit covered by a stone painted facade. And then so over here we're going to need to make a bunch of these, the empty serum vials. So let's just make a bunch of those. I'm going to need to make some more glass panes, so we can throw those in here. And then that should give us, it doesn't seem like those are going in automatically. I wonder why not. Okay, maybe there's a specific side they need to go into. I don't know. If I go in here and click, where do they go? I was pretty sure. Oh, wait. No, it's the wrong thing. I've jumped ahead. I need a blank sequence for this. That's right. So let's go to sequence. And there are these things. I've never done this before, so I guess this is my time to make the panes. It can be a bit of a pain. Sorry. Shouldn't have done that. And so let's make a bunch of blank sequences there. And now let's throw those in here and see how that works out. Perfect. So now we just need a bee in here, which I should have grabbed before. Let's just go and grab some of our cultivated drones because they have a lot of things that we want. They have fast workers. They're nocturnal. There are a bunch of stuff. So if we put them in here, let me see. Let's just start with one and throw it in there. I think we're randomly gonna get one of the traits from that bee, and it takes a while. So at least we got that started while we do the rest. So I'm gonna get the rest of these machines hooked up, and then in the same manner, I'll show you what I did with them, and hopefully we'll be able to show one whole example use of them before we're done. And we got that nice particle effects. That's actually a good argument not to put the hoppers like this. I might have to do something else because I am getting in the way of my nice particle effects. Anyway, I'm going to keep moving, and I will see you in a second. Okay, I got at least one of each of the machines down so far, and I think I've got all the products going to them that I want. I just realized I'm still not going to be able to quite finish with this because there's something we're going to need at the very end, but we're going to get as close as we can get. So, as you saw already, right here we've got the gene pool is turning all these extra drones into our DNA or BNA, which is really cool. Let me turn whale off because it's just distracting. I'll tell you what everything is. Yeah, so that is the gene pool. Now the isolator has gone ahead and made 6 of these DNA sequences, but there's no knowing what they are. They're very faint until we sequence them. So here is, or excuse me, until we analyze them. So here's the analyzer. I just went ahead and manually put some DNA dye into it for now. And it looks like we're going to have to analyze every single one of these that we get. So we might as well just send things automatically over. So let's go ahead and extract and insert. And then hopefully, yeah, those are going into there. And now the analyzer is going to turn this DNA sequence, hopefully, into something that we can tell what it is. Let's just hold on for a second and see what happens. So, okay, so we got the species in this one, cultivated, which is cool. So now anytime we want to make a cultivated bee, we can just use the sequence rather than have to breed them to get it. Let's see what the second one is. The second one is flowers. So if we want something to use flowers rather than anything else, we can do that. So, and so on and so on, apparently with all the traits that the cultivated drone has. So we got that far. That's very cool. This next one is the sequencer now. So these, anything that I want to sequence from here, I can. So nocturnal, yes, is definitely one that I would want to sequence. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And actually, before we put that in there, let's do one thing. Up here, I've got it all ready to make in my Carpenter. I'm going to make a, this thing, the gene database. So is that making? Turns out I just need some redstone down there and it'll make it just fine. I was afraid I was going to have to cheat it in. But let me finish letting that make and then I'll show you what it's good for. Okay, there it is. There's our database. And if we look in it now, it should be completely empty. But you can see it keeps track of bees and trees and butterflies and moths. I didn't know we had moths too. And flowers. So let's go back down and see what happens when we put this, whatchamacallit, sequence in the sequencer, which is this one. So we throw that in there, and that's going to do its job, and it's going to take a while. And when it's done, I'll show you what's up. So I'll be back. It's not done yet, but I had to come back for a minute to show you the cool particle effects this one has. It's got all the letters of DNA chain. Okay, it's been a while. This is almost done, but not quite done. You see all these letters have to get filled in. I've got 2 more. But what I did is I went ahead and put 2 more on top of it because this part of the process takes so long. And then I got the analyzer to send its stuff into this chest. Because since everything has to be analyzed before we know what it is, we might as well go ahead with that. And I'm not going to want to sequence everything because some of them aren't things I'm necessarily going to want. So these 2, cave dwelling and humidity tolerance in both directions, are 2 good things. So let's go ahead and put those in these 2 sequencers so those things can go ahead and start getting sequenced. And then this one, it looks like there's only 1 letter left, and then it will be done. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I went ahead and put fluorescent dye just manually into each one of these as well. And hopefully this will just be slow enough that I'll just be able to manually keep these filled. So there it is. We got the last letter here. And I don't know if the thing's supposed to go over there. It must be. I'm going to hold on for a second and then rejoin you. There it is. It popped over. So now the thing that changed is if we look into our gene database, we have one thing for the bees. We have nocturnal. So anytime I want something to be nocturnal, I can just take one of these empty serum vials, click here. Well, let me just get one of them. And I think I just, I left click. I get there. So now this vial has nocturnal, but I still can't quite do anything with it yet. I got to put it over here into the polymerizer. And the polymerizer has three things in it. I manually put some gold nuggets in it, and then I'm piping over the polymerizing bacteria, and the raw DNA is going in from these tanks right here. So then I can just stick this in here, and it's going to go ahead and charge it up so that it can be used. And what's going to happen when it's charged is I'm going to be able to put it in here in the inoculator. And this is where we get to the thing that's missing, is I'm missing larvae. I have to be able to put bee larvae in there. And to get bee larvae, I need to make an alveary and put a hatchery in the alveary. And I can't make alvearies yet because I haven't crossbred my unwary bees with my diligent bees in order to get the industrious bees to get the pollen so I can make the scented panels to make the alveary. So I'm almost there. So between this episode and the next one, I'm going to need to do some breeding and get that pollen and make my first alveary. And then in that alveary, we're going to be able to get bee larvae, and then we'll be able to finish this process. And ooh, this one has pretty particle effects too. I'm going to have to figure out something else to do here because I'm messing up my particle effects. Probably saves me some rendering, and the practicality is probably better than the prettiness, but whatever. Anyway, so thank you for joining me today. That's as far as we're going to be able to get, but pretty much I have all this apparatus in place. In fact, I think I do. At this point, any other improvements will just be like making little things happen automatically, filling ingredients or pulling things out and so on. But that's it. That's Binnie's Genetics. So I will be able to finish it next time. I'll have more trees for you and more bees for you. And then one of these days, I'll have got this in place enough that we can start doing something else, probably by the end of next episode. So if you got any questions, comments, whatever, just let me know. I still have been Monkeypuzzle, your host, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.